Today on Learn Me Something
Scuba.
versus
Fishy business. Caleb, how's Texas?
It's pretty good. How's Mexico?
So good. I asked first, though. So what did you do in Texas? You went to a wedding, right?
We went down for a wedding. Mallory was a bridesmaid, so I kind of just had a treat yourself weekend because she was busy doing bridesmaid stuff.
Yeah.
So I went to movies and coffee shops and did some climbing.
Cool.
Just all on my lonesome.
Nice. What movie did you see?
Old,
Oh.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. What did you think? I heard it was strange.
I probably wouldn't watch it again.
Okay.
I will say it was a great way to get through 2 hours of time where I didn't really know what to do.
So it's a time killer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And it was in the fanciest movie theater I've ever been in
Why is that?
because I walked in and they were like, "You can get your tickets over here, sir." And it was touchscreens that were taller than I am, just like vertical. And so I pushed in,
boop, boop,
yeah, pushed all the buttons. Like you could do it with your palm even if you wanted. Because I was like, it's probably is not necessary.
You could just headbutt all the buttons.
And then I got my ticket printed out, and then the guy was like, "Okay, if you'll follow me, sir." And we walked up this big glass staircase with all glass windows
What
to
in
the
the world?
second floor. Apparently, it was brand new. And then he was like, "Okay, this is," I forgot her name. "This is blah, blah, blah. She'll take care of you." And she's like, "Come with me." And we were like halfway down the hallway, and she's like, "Okay, here's a menu for you. You're going to be down in Theater 9. I'll be in just a minute to take your order."
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you buy anything?
Yeah, I got a burger. I felt like I had to. And then she kept coming back and bringing refills and
That's
everything.
crazy. Yeah, I've only went to one theater that, like you order stuff when you're sitting down.
It's
'Cause
amazing.
It's what a treat. If you get the chance, listeners, do it at least once.
You're gonna have to.
Except you can kind of skip out on the 4D theater experience, I think.
I am
was-
not a fan.
That was sad for me. I watched Aquaman in 4D and it just got a little bit wet and then just jostled around the whole time.
They just made it smell like fish constantly.
I mean, that'd be cool. But yeah. So that's a one and done type of thing for me, I
Yeah,
think.
well, it was worth a
Plus
shot.
It's free, yeah.
Okay, your turn. How's Mexico?
Oh, so good. Did a lot of scuba diving. 2 days of scuba diving. But it was a lot. 2 full days. Lots of moto riding.
Oh boy,
Ripping around the island.
that's pretty cool.
Beach hopping.
Did you meet any
little
listeners?
exploring. Unfortunately, no.
There's some listeners down in
In
there.
Mexico?
Uh-huh.
It is a very large country, but
Well,
it's possible. I mean, I guess I could have walked by somebody who's listened before. That's possible.
that's
I was
very.
going to say very. That's not likely, but it's possible.
It's so incredibly possible.
I'm sure it happened more than once. But it was so fun.
Good. Nice.
Yeah.
So since we both kind of traveled the world a little bit, you did not do this episode's punishment, even
No.
though you did lose.
I lost. So the punishment was I have to play Five Nights at Freddy's in VR. And if you don't know what that is, it's
Scary.
a very scary game that was super popular, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. And I guess it's on VR. And I have no idea why I came up with this idea because I'm so scared. Yeah, it's very frightening. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, the whole idea is we each teach each other a topic, and then we have the listeners vote on who had the better topic. And I lost big time last time, so that's the punishment that I've got to do. And normally we'll talk about it, but like at the beginning of the next episode. But like you said, we were both
Yeah.
traveling the world, and by the world,
I will say
North
did-
America.
Yeah. We did find someone who has virtual reality.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, he's gonna hook us up.
And I did try it because I was just so curious. And it's it's pretty scary.
I'm so scared.
Basically, you just have to look all around and push buttons and turn lights on and off and close the doors so the little animatronic guys don't get you.
Yeah. Yeah. So next episode we'll see how that went, and yes, we'll have 2 punishments to talk about next time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big episode.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Lots of
Have a seat.
Lots of horribleness.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
for you to be able to enjoy that.
I'm gonna do my best to get through it as quickly as possible.
Cause I have a guess, but would you say you're pretty squeamish when it comes to scary things?
Yes, I've gotten a little bit better, but I'm a gasper and a couple times every time I watch a horror movie, I'll get usually 2 or 3 in there, and sometimes I'm a little bit of a squealer, but that's okay.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, so we'll you can be excited for that.
Oh man, should we
So anyway.
should we dive into some topics?
Yeah, let's get into it. You went first. No, you won last time.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
Goofball.
Yes, a
Hey.
goofball moment.
Do you have an orange?
Maybe. Let me check. I do
'cause-
not do the shopping in our household.
Okay, or just if not, the thing is I have to take a bite of an orange with the peel still on. So Get me something to bite, I guess.
Let me go see.
I'll start talking. So, I mean, the idea of the goofball is if we mess up, we have to do something, just a quick little stupid thing to encourage us not to mess up because it makes editing easier. And I guess we're still learning how to make good goofball entries. Oh, you have an orange. All right, toss it over. Okay, here it goes. Take a bite with the peel on. It's a cutie.
Oh, I should have got you a napkin too. I didn't think about that. Oh, you like bit it all the way off. I thought you were just gonna like bite into
I'm
it.
eating the peel.
You're so,
It's
what a
very
man.
bitter.
What a man.
Okay, so who do you want to go first?
Before I go, do you remember in season 1 we had a conversation about
Oh, this is nasty.
do you need to like puke?
No, I'm
really
good.
fast?
I'm good.
Okay. You remember we had a conversation about different ways we could spice up the podcast?
Yeah.
One of them I've been very excited about, and this is way back, couple episodes into season 1, and it's something that neither of us have ever done until right now. I would like to tap out of this episode.
Way. Where is somebody here?
Someone's here.
No way.
And I'm very excited about who it is because it's very funny. So, do you want to come in?
No way. Okay, I'm so excited.
I get it.
Hey! Oh my goodness. It's Abby. It's my girlfriend Abby. Welcome.
I recruited Abby to be on my team for this episode because
Okay.
I thought it was very
All
funny.
right, let me get you a chair.
No, you can sit here.
And you're
I'll
gonna move
scoot
to
over.
the.
Yeah, I'll move to the couch and be a spectator and throw some comments in here or there.
No way. Okay.
Do you want to explain how the tap out works while she's getting settled?
Yeah. So this is the first, a history first. So the tap out is Caleb. I mean, like it is like it sounds. Caleb taps out an expert or just somebody who's going to teach me something, and so it's them 2 against me. I feel intimidated.
You should be. How close should I be?
That's
Is this
good.
close enough?
Yeah,
Am I
that's
loud
good.
enough?
I think
You
so.
Am I loud enough?
You are match that for the rest of the episode.
Have you just been here the whole time?
The whole time. No, I'm just kidding. Just like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So not bad at all.
Wow. I mean, you do live close.
That's true. I actually did walk over.
Oh, nice.
It was really nice.
A nice
yeah.
little walk.
Yeah. I was walking and then I saw this little, I thought was a squirrel. So I stared at it for about for about 5 minutes. I was like, man, this squirrel is not moving. I kept staring at it. And then to my embarrassment, I found out it was a leaf. And I walked away embarrassed. I was like, no. Apparently I don't get out enough.
That squirrel is such a beautiful squirrel.
Abby, we are so happy that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm so surprised. I'm so excited.
I remember the first episode, so this is exciting.
Listener since day one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
day 1. And so now I'm here.
I did not think that you would say yes to do this.
I know. I was kind of thought about it. I was like, oh, I don't really like talking. Okay, I know I can do this.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you got it. You got
Yeah.
it.
So,
Also, well, I'm recording on I'm on the iPad mic.
Oh,
so
so you can.
hopefully people can hear
Oh,
me.
you've thought this through.
I've been thinking consistently since like 2 days ago when I asked Abby if she wanted to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. I did not give her any warning at all.
I know. I was kind of like, ooh. And then you didn't even, like, give me a topic, so I was like, oh, okay, well.
Oh,
Yeah,
the pressure's
so-
on.
I trust you. I think you can win this one for me. Oh, one point to make is that if she will still vote normally, but if Abby loses, I will still be the one to do the punishment.
Yeah, so there's.
So,
We won't be too mean to our guest hosts.
No, you can just do the punishment.
so I'm talking
You won't
about
do the
how
punishment.
grass grows.
Thank you.
Maybe
We're
having
taking
your
Kale down
girlfriend
together.
was not the best idea.
Just 1 minute long topic. Oh,
Yeah.
also, I took a bite of this orange as a goofball thing, so
Oh.
that was annoying. Anyway, that's what that is.
You just had to take one bite?
Yeah,
Oh.
'cause I
Ooh,
messed up.
new rule, because we never talked about it. Abby will have to use the goof bowl if the
Oh.
opportunity arises.
Wait, this wasn't a part of the agreement. I don't remember this.
You're like, I didn't sign anything.
Yeah. Oh, time for me to. I'm not feeling too well. I gotta go.
Okay, so you're going first.
I get to go
You
first?
ready?
The real question is, are you ready?
I hope so.
Ready?
I'm as ready as I can be, I think.
Do you want to guess on what my topic is?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, for the listeners, to give some context.
Oh boy.
So recently, Josiah and I both got certified to scuba dive.
Uh-huh.
And so, of course, while you're down there swimming, you're just thinking about stuff. And 2 questions came to my mind while I was
Oh.
scuba diving. And I was like, where did this all start?
Okay.
Who was the first person to even do this?
Okay.
And then there's some wild things down there. And I was like, I'm sure there's some crazy story out there
Uh-huh.
about some scuba diver.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
So I was like, well, maybe I should look that up sometime. But of course, I came home and never did. And then
Yeah.
Caleb asked me, do I want to be on this? And I was like, oh, well, perfect excuse to research this stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of scuba diving.
Yes.
And then we're going to talk about this crazy story.
Okay.
So history-wise, just going to be like an appetizer. So real quick,
Okay.
short facts.
Okay.
And then we're going to dive into the story. That's
Okay.
phenomenal.
I'm
Okay.
very excited about this.
Me
Me
too.
too.
Oh, so we're having 3 people on the mics at once, too.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is so cool.
Oh, Abby, welcome to our home.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is this
You've
the first
never
time?
been to
No.
it here.
No, it's very nice. Well put together. I
Do you
saw.
want water
Oh.
or
You want a
some of
Huckleberry
Josiah's?
soda?
I'm content with what I have.
Josiah got cream sodas, Huckleberry cream sodas for us.
Oh.
But the downside of this being a hilarious surprise is that you could not participate in the cream soda venture.
So I don't get the cream soda, but I still have to participate in the goose bowl. I don't get how this works out, but
Lots of
okay.
unfair.
No, I'm just
It's
kidding.
going great so far.
I'm loving
So
it. Okay.
far. So you ready?
Yeah,
History of
history of
scuba
scuba.
diving. So it all started roughly around 13th century.
Okay.
So the first recorded type of like breathing underwater was with the Persians. And so what was recorded? Like the Persian?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
way
a long
back
time
in the day.
ago.
Wow.
So they had hollowed out reeds
Okay.
and they had thinly sliced tortoise shells for goggles.
Wait.
Yeah. I don't know how they attached them. I don't know if they like put them in like monocles and swim around, but
Or you just like slam it against your face. So they hollowed out like a pumpkin or something, but just really thin so you can like barely see
yeah,
through
pretty
it.
much.
I didn't even know you could do that with a turtle shell.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've
didn't
never
either.
carved any turtle shells.
I have not
You
either.
haven't? Missing out. Next time I see a tortoise shell.
Wait a second.
It might be a leaf.
Oh, good one.
Roasted.
So then a couple centuries later, in the 16th century,
Okay.
that's when the Greeks started getting involved. And so they invented what they call a diving bell. So
Okay.
kind of like what the name insinuates, it's basically like the shape of a bell. It's like the Liberty Bell.
Okay.
Envision that.
Yeah.
And it's wood. So basically they throw it off the edge of the ship.
Yes.
And it basically captures a bunch of air as it goes down.
Oh.
And there's like weights on the bottom.
Okay.
And it hits the
Whoa.
bottom. So now there's air at the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
So the divers will dive off. They'll swim around. And usually they use this to like plunder ships that have sunk with gold on it. And so they get the gold, they bring it up, but whenever they need air, they go into the bell to get some breaths of air and then go out swimming again.
Interesting.
So that's kind of how this another breathing underwater partakes.
That's pretty crazy,
yeah.
actually.
And you can
So
actually look up
pirates-
pictures. It's kind of funny.
Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty accurate then.
Yeah.
The part where they like have
They
the
walk
boat.
in the canoe.
Yeah, I've thought about that, and then I was like, wait, wouldn't you have to like be
Does-
really heavy to hold all that air
Oh,
down?
oh yeah, they did that. They tested that on MythBusters, and we're like, yeah, nobody's
Very
heavy.
impossible.
But if you put weights,
That's why they had weights on the bottom
Good
of
job.
it.
It's like neutrally buoyant. Oh,
Yeah.
See, that's a key word that we learned.
Yeah. Neutrally bound.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
you scubers.
I know. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So originally it was just whatever air they captured was at the bottom. So then it kind of evolved into they would eventually have like a hose from the ship down to the bell. So they would have more oxygen so they could stay down there longer.
Interesting.
So let's see now.
That's pretty cool.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's not too bad. So then in the 1800s, that's when you start getting like the leather suit with the copper helmet. And that weighed up to like 200 pounds. So not very efficient, very hard for people to maneuver around in. And then you like go into the 1900s, 1930s, and they start developing the aqua lung. So that's where it's like an oxygen tank
Okay.
with like hoses.
Okay.
So very basic, and that's all you had. You didn't have the BCD or any wetsuit or goggles really at that point.
Okay.
So then it starts developing some more like facts and statistics that are kind of boring. So I'm just going to jump right to the end.
Oh, real quick, a BCD is
Oh.
a buoyancy control device. So it's basically like a life jacket on your back that you can inflate with more air or deflate to kind
Wait.
of help you.
Oh, to float.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, you can just get more air while you're down there?
Yeah.
Get it
it's-
from the water.
Yeah. No, it's from the tank.
Okay.
Same tank that you breathe from. You can also fill your little backpack with. It's very
There
cool.
you go.
It's very
It's
cool.
really cool, actually. So anyway, so then in the 1950s, scuba diving is kind of like known. It's very primitive. But then they started coming out with this TV show called Sea Hunt. And this guy goes down with a camera and like videos fish, which is kind of weird because it's like,
Wait, when is this?
1950s. Wow. Yeah, so 1950s. And this is like the first time. So they start showing it on TV once a week. They have this guy, he goes down there, films some fish, and they show it on TV. And people are like mesmerized by that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fish? Oh my goodness, we get to see him and watch him on TV. Which nowadays you're like,
Fish on
big
TV.
deal.
Children, sit down.
Gather round.
The fish are on.
But really, like, nowadays you're like, what's the big deal? But back then that was a big thing.
Yeah.
And so that started like sparking
yeah.
people's interest. They're inspired, and then
Yeah.
starts like escalating quickly from
Yeah,
there. And so
yeah.
now in the 1960s and the 70s, basically you start getting all the inventions that we know nowadays. So
Okay.
all this cool technology.
I will
So
never underappreciate things that happen on my TV again.
I know, right?
Would have never even
fish.
thought.
The fish are on.
Yeah, super cool. So a little
Wow.
history. So we can.
That's actually very interesting. All of that, especially the little bell,
Yeah.
diving bell.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy, and they use it to plunder ships.
I know. I was
That's
like,
so cool.
I wish I could grasp the science of how that works.
Yeah.
So it must have not been very deep, right? Because something that we learned is like the farther down you go, the more the air compresses. So if you take a deep breath of air when you're down there, and you don't blow it out as you go up, so they must have figured that out
It
the
wasn't
hard way.
until 1878 they started like researching decompression
Yeah.
sickness because they're like, why are all these people getting sick? And then they finally started like
Yeah.
researching it. So it was,
Yeah, so they probably figured out the lung over overexpansion pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because like that's
yeah, that
oh,
would
this
be
guy's
good.
lungs popped. Maybe
Yeah.
blow out the air as you come up. That's pretty crazy. I guess
Maybe I won't
Yeah.
ever scuba.
no.
Well, you don't want your lungs to explode? Come on now.
No, I'd prefer not. I like the pressure to be the way it's supposed to be.
Oh well,
Normal.
Yeah, there
Well.
you
some people can't handle it.
go. Yeah, some people.
Okay.
So did you know? So now they have this whole certification, the PADI,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they have like a whole like curriculum people follow to get certified.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people they've certified? Up until 1967.
I'm gonna just say 1 million.
25 million
Wow.
and 5 people.
20 million, 25 million and 5.
Yeah.
They couldn't have just cut it 5 people shorter.
They're very
people
precise.
matter. Anyway, so yeah, that was history. So you have
Okay.
the appetizer. Now we're gonna dive into the main course.
Wow.
Dive in.
What an
Dive
appetizer.
in.
I gotta give it up. I'm so impressed.
Some cheese curds appetizers.
The best of the
The good
best of the
kind.
appetizers.
I'm
So-
feeling good about the voting for this
I
episode.
am not. Just if you want to tank it right now, that would be
Okay,
great.
so now we're gonna switch over to growing
Oh, good.
grass.
Thank goodness.
No, so now, you ready for this
Yeah.
next story?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have you guys close your eyes.
Okay.
Listeners can
Oh.
close their eyes too.
Okay.
Perfect.
Now imagine.
Unless you're driving.
Then just close one eye. so
Kind of close it.
So yeah, just imagine darkness, utter darkness,
Mm-hmm.
darkness you can feel.
Ooh.
Okay,
Palpable.
and all you can hear are your own thoughts and your own breathing. Now,
Well, if you're breathing, sorry, I should not even be in this room. But if you can hear your own breathing, you're not doing it right.
Oh, wait.
That's right. No, wait.
No, this is different. I say there's exceptions to rules.
Well, this person
Okay.
doesn't breathe right, so
Okay.
they can hear it.
Also, you can't breathe through your nose when you're scuba diving
What?
because you have a mask over your nose.
Oh, okay.
So it just kind of
I got
sucks
more-
the mask into your face if you try and breathe with your nose.
I got more surprised than I should have been. There.
What?
Are you kidding? I am never, ever scuba-ing.
Once
Okay,
again,
my eyes are
Caleb doesn't
closed.
Get out.
Eyes are closed.
It's dark. I can hear my
Yeah,
breathing.
yeah. And you're cold. You're hungry.
Big sound
And-
effects guy.
So, how long do you think you can survive like this?
Like 20 more minutes.
20 minutes?
If that.
If that? Okay. So, you guys can open your eyes
Okay.
now. So, we'll get back to that and kind of see how long the human can actually survive in those conditions. So, let's introduce Harrison Okina.
Do you have him here? Is it
He's
another
in the
special
living room
guest?
right
I'm
now.
tapping out.
A
Harrison,
tap
get
out
in
on
here.
the tap out. That would be so cool.
A double tap out.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Season 3.
We'll see.
So anyways, Harrison, he's a 29-year-old guy living in Nigeria, recently married, living the good life.
Okay.
He's working as a cook on a ship, a tugboat,
Perfect.
and he lives in Nigeria. So his little crew of the tugboat members, they get called out to go out to an oil rig because the oil rig's having some problems, and so they're going to go out there,
Okay.
middle of a storm. Harrison's like, no big deal. I've done this before.
I'm
Yeah.
just cooking.
Yeah, I'm just cooking.
And I'm newly married. It'll be fine.
No big deal.
Everything's great.
So Harrison and his crew of 11 other members go out. Big storm. Waves are going. Everybody's sleeping. So now it's May 26, 2013, and it's 5 a.m. Harrison wakes up at 5 a.m. and he's like, darn, I have to go use the bathroom. So he gets up.
I hate
He
that.
unlocks his door, which is a key, because over there they have piracy rules. So obviously there's a lot of pirates over there that
Yeah.
wreak havoc.
Yeah.
And so they have to lock their doors before they go to bed. So
Okay.
he unlocks his door, goes to the bathroom. Not even 5 minutes in the bathroom, a big wave hits the ship and it capsizes. So Harrison's in the bathroom, gets tossed around quite a bit.
Not the place to be tossed around.
No. Poor guy. Finally gets his balance, pulls up his boxers, runs out the door, tries to go to the escape hatchet, but then this big wave comes in, crashes water in. He gets pushed back into the bathroom, and now the ship's completely turned over and it's sinking fast.
Oh no.
And he just, in an interview, he says he can just feel it going faster, 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 and then stops. Once again, banged up pretty bad, but not any broken bones or anything. So Harrison's sitting. The water starts filling into the bathroom. So
And
it
he's
keeps
like,
going.
his ceiling is what used to be the floor.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he's
Oh,
hanging on.
that is bad.
Yeah.
Toilet right above his head.
That
Look, think about it.
worst case scenario for a lot of reasons.
Not a greatest smell, but you know. He's hanging on to the sink though, thankfully not the toilet.
Okay.
So he's holding on to the sink,
Okay.
water's filling up, and then it stops. And then he's just sitting there.
He's in the bell.
He's in
He's
the bell.
in the bell.
The bubble.
He's the bell of the ball.
The bell of the bubble.
Anyways,
More like
So-
the bubble of the bell.
utter darkness, right?
Yeah.
Complete dark.
Oh, yeah.
Close your eyes.
I can picture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's cold.
Yeah. And he
And
realizes
hungry.
now he's at the bottom of the ocean and
Holy
no one
cow.
there to help him. And so he's sitting there and actually a whole day passes. He doesn't really realize it. The
Yeah.
whole day passes, and
Yeah.
he's finally like, okay, I think I need to do something. I can't be hanging onto this seat
Yeah.
for this long because
Yeah.
I'm going to
Holy
get out
cow.
and pass out and hypothermia and all that good stuff. So he decides to swim over to the next room and just hope there's another air bubble there. So he takes a big deep breath and he swims.
Oh
And he
my
goes.
goodness.
And it's dark, so he's just
Yeah,
grappling around,
just feeling around.
going around,
And
he's going.
like he knows the ship, I'm sure, but
Not
upside
upside down.
down,
That's a whole nother level.
like you just got a very basic idea of like, I think this is
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. So he's going, gets to the door, opens the door, goes right to the top. Open, there's an air bubble. And as you can guess, there's an air bubble.
Oh.
Woo! 4 feet high. So,
Oh,
yeah.
decent.
Yeah.
Can you imagine swimming up thinking, man, I might not live if I
Exactly.
If you just bonk your head on the
if
ceiling,
I
it's
bonk
over.
my head?
Yeah, or there's nothing.
Oh my goodness.
One
Anyways.
bonk and I'm done.
That is
That's what he was thinking.
we're putting that on a t-shirt.
One bonk and I'm done. I don't know if I'd get that t-shirt, but
I don't know if anyone.
Hot new merch out. I'd buy it.
So he's in the room and he decides, I'm going to die of hypothermia if I don't do anything. So he collects all the mattresses. There's about 2 mattresses in the room, puts them on top of each other, gets some paneling in the dark. Remind you, in the dark. He only has his
palpable.
boxers on. Puts it all together, makeshift little raft, and he gets on top of it.
No way.
Yep. And he's about halfway out of the water. So he's still pretty cold, but enough out of the water that he's surviving.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So he's sitting there in the dark. All I can hear is actually fish splashing around and occasionally these big, like, what he thinks might be sharks or barracudas, like, hitting his legs occasionally. Just dark. And he told the interviewer that he was thinking about his family a lot and he was also praying. What do you think is the one thing he prayed for the most besides being rescued?
Pants.
Food.
Yes. No. So it was quoted.
Light.
He said, some kind of light.
Really?
That's the main thing he prayed for.
Well,
Some kind of light.
I just...
Not
yeah,
food,
that's-
not heat.
I think
light.
about the people that get lost in the caves and get totally disoriented.
Yeah.
That's so freaky.
Yeah.
So now it's up to 60 hours. He's been down there for 60 hours. But meanwhile, he doesn't know it. But there's some divers up ahead.
Uh-huh.
So there's about a team of 4 divers.
Okay.
And they're like certified to go down there and all that good stuff. They're well trained. So that's why it took up to 60 hours because they had to get these people, ship them in, or fly them in and get them over there. So they're finally there and they head back down. They head down. And at that point, they're like, there's no survivors. There's no evidence of survivors. So this is just a recovery mission
Right.
to recover
Just
the bodies,
See what's see what's there.
basically. And so they go down there and they recover up to 4 bodies. And so also this is really challenging. I didn't think of this. This is a very challenging dive for these people. Not only are they going into a ship,
Yep.
but all they have is a little headlamp for light. And then also it's upside down. So the ship's upside down.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
And the doors are locked. So the ship is locked from the inside out. So
Oh.
like they have to somehow maneuver the locks and get them open to go through it.
I can't imagine. That would be so. Okay. I take it back. 5 Nights at Freddy's might not be as scary as that.
Oh. Anyways, and they're at 130 feet. So at that point, they can only spend
Wow.
about 20 minutes at a time down there safely for them.
And then, okay, so based on the little that I know, do they have to wait quite a while before they go back down?
Yeah.
Or do they send other
Yeah,
divers
they actually
down?
have several teams at a time
Okay.
going back down, so they
Okay.
kind of rotate in and out.
Okay.
Is there
But
a
that-
no double dipping rule
Well,
in scuba?
the deeper you go, the more nitrogen builds up, and the more time you have to spend above the surface to kind of let it dissipate. And so that's when you can get the decompression sickness if you spend lots of time super deep.
Gotcha.
So so
Yeah.
it just requires time to get it out.
Huh.
Or I think that's
Yeah, just
kind of-
time. Yeah.
just
The
a-
longer this episode goes, the less I want to scuba.
I know, I was kind of thinking, I was like, I really want to inspire people
Yeah.
to scuba dive. And I was like doing this, I was like, I'm going to scare people away. Oh, well, no. But no, think about like the divers and what they get to do. They get to go down and save people.
That is so
That's
cool.
really
That is
cool.
kinda
Yeah.
cool.
So,
And think about, they get to be the ones, it's like what that guy's in complete darkness and then the light comes in
They are-
and he's like,
Oh.
who is that hero?
you're my hero.
And they've got like underwater boom boxes playing action music.
Yep. So Harrison's down there. Divers go down. Nico is the one that has a camera on his head. And so there's Nico down there. He's swimming to the ship. And Nico's talking to Colby, who's up on the ship, and he's kind of giving him directions. So
Okay.
Colby has a map of the ship, and he's like, okay, go
Okay.
turn right, and you'll be in this room. And
It's like a
so,
movie.
Even Nico's job seems too hard to decipher a map while it's
Oh.
upside down and everything's locked.
yeah. Actually, it's Colby. Colby's up on top. Nico has
Oh,
the camera.
yeah. Okay, they're both doing good. Colby's slightly less impressive, but still a mind game.
That's true. That's true.
Wow.
So they're down there. They're swimming around. And what's best is they have the camera, so there's a video of this. So it's so cool to see this.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know if you guys can
Oh,
like,
we'll
put a
link
link
it.
to
We'll
it.
link it.
It's like
Yeah.
it's definitely worth watching. So you see like the camera, and it's like just dark, murky water. Like you can barely see like 5 feet in front of
Oh,
you.
boy.
So he's swimming. You just hear the diver breathing, you know, Darth Vader like.
Yeah.
And so he's just swimming around, and not Nico. Harrison's in his room, and he can hear something, but he's like, at that point, he's like, I don't know if it's real
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
You're just starting to go
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. And so he finally sees the light of the diver, and the diver swims by, and he's like, oh, they're probably not going to come into this
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, this is my chance. This is my chance. And so he goes down in the water because he
Holy
sees the
cow.
light
Uh-huh.
coming back towards that
Oh,
doorway.
okay.
So he's like, okay, this is my chance. So he takes a big deep breath. He goes down
Oh.
underwater. And like he's like, but I also don't want to freak out this diver.
Yeah.
So he just barely pats the diver on the
Oh
shoulder.
my gosh.
Why is this not a movie already?
Pats the diver on the shoulder. And you can see in the video, Nico kind of like, he's a little startled. So he like kind of like jumps back a
Oh.
little bit. And he looks and he sees just the hand. He just sees a hand.
Oh my gosh.
And you can hear him say, oh shoot, here's another one. Like another corpse.
Yeah.
So he reaches out, grabs the hand,
And
and,
he-
the hand grabs back, and he's like, he's alive, he's alive, and he's saying, he's like, and so he like the diver like swims up over to like, and
Yep.
at that point Harrison goes back up to
Yep,
the air
yep,
bubble,
yeah.
and then so Nico's over there,
Oh
and he's like
my
talking
goodness.
to him, and like Harrison's just like wide-eyed, like shocked, and he's just like not really saying anything.
He's like, I found somebody's here. Like,
Yeah,
It's not over.
Yeah.
There's light.
Exactly. And it's just crazy. And so, and all of a sudden, like, the crew members said that the demeanor on the ship just changed automatically. Everybody's like super excited.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get this guy up. They
Yeah.
got like the medical team and figured out how they could bring him up safely because, like you were saying, the nitrogen level was like super high in his body. So
Yeah.
they didn't want to bring him up too fast,
Yeah.
which would cause what
Yeah.
you call like the bends or the decompression sickness.
Oh.
And so when you come up too fast, the nitrogen in your body basically forms bubbles. And those bubbles block the blood vessels. So that can cause joint pain.
Bad news.
Yeah. Basically heart
Arthritis.
attack. Death. Arthritis. That dirt arthritis gets you every time.
Immediate arthritis.
Take me back down. So they basically put him in a big decompression container. And he decompresses for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So poor...
Sorry, you can finish your sentence.
just poor guy.
Yeah.
You know, in that hole for about
Yeah.
3 days, and then in a decompression chamber for 2.5
But at least
days.
he probably can have light in there, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, they bring him back up. He's medically stable. Goes back home, and like there's just so like medical phenomenons that they're
Yeah.
like, how did he survive?
Yeah.
Why was there an air pocket down there?
Holy
And then
cow.
it's kind of interesting because like obviously you're like, well, that's not very much room for him to breathe for 3 days, and so they figured out like, based on that space, he should have only survived for 24 hours. But because it was in water, the water was absorbing the CO2.
No way.
So he was able to
Whoa.
survive longer. But he literally was like hours away from death.
No
Yeah,
way.
he was already starting to like hallucinate a little bit when they found him. And they figured out like because of his CO2 levels when they got him, like
Holy
he was
cow.
hours away. And so it's just crazy like how they were just there in the right time and everything.
So
But-
apparently water absorbs carbon dioxide.
Yeah, another thing to learn.
Seems like something you would learn about in The Martian.
I guess.
Did you ever read that book? I know you probably
Just
saw
watch the movie. No.
You got to read the book.
Okay.
I was thinking the whole time you were telling the story, you were like 60 hours in, and I was just thinking to myself, man, 67 more hours, and he becomes cooler than the second coolest guy. But if he's decompressing that long,
Oh.
You're the guy who
127 hours guy.
chopped his arm off.
Yeah,
Harrison
That-
was close. Not
Yeah.
close enough.
not quite. Didn't quite get there.
No.
Also, I feel like it takes... Both are very impressive feats
Yeah.
to survive, but I think it would take less self-determination to sit on a raft
Yeah.
and hang out.
You don't have to actively cut off your limb.
Yeah, I'd say that's... But limb cutter guy didn't have to experience pure darkness and
Yeah.
the psychological trauma of that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And
But
sharks.
get this.
Oh boy.
So I know it went once. You don't think it could get any better. So Harrison vowed, I'm never going back in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
2 years later, in 2015, Harrison gets become a certified scuba diver. And the person that hands him his diploma is no other than Nico. The
Nico?
guy that found him.
That is awesome.
Wow.
So.
Okay,
just hang on.
so this should be a movie, though.
I know.
But here's what I was just thinking. How would they deal with all the darkness? Do you just like make it super dark looking?
Yeah,
Like I guess they do that in movies.
Yeah.
it would just
That's
have
true,
to
maybe.
be.
Show stuff.
Well, or you could even do like. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Most of the
maybe.
story could be about the divers, and it just cuts to the guy in the darkness every once in a while.
Okay. Do we have any
Oh.
like famous movie directors listening or like writers or anything?
I think we've got a couple.
Okay.
A couple to call out.
Ooh, and we could add a little bit of fiction into it and say that Nico and Harrison were old rivals, and they had a big
Oh.
fight, and they were like enemies.
I like that
But
because
then
of a
when-
love triangle. That's what you put in there.
We need a love. There needs to be a woman.
And also
Obviously.
there's a giant squid that Harrison has to fight off when
Yeah.
he's down there.
And punch
Yeah.
it.
Who like reaches in with its tentacle into the room and he's like creates all these
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah, I like that.
Or Harrison doesn't think Nico's good enough, and Nico's always trying to prove himself. And then Harrison gets lost, and Nico proves himself by saving him. And then when they reach the shore, Harrison goes, "I was wrong about you, Nico."
While he's holding him, like has a tear.
Like rising out of the water somehow. He's on one of those water like jetpack
Oh
things.
yeah, yeah. Like, wow.
Iron Man's up to the ship.
I would watch that.
I would too.
I would watch
I'd
that.
watch that in the theaters. That
I
sounds
would watch
like
that
it.
in a 4D movie theater.
Oh yeah.
That's how much I want to see that.
Too. All right, all you directors out there. Also, our one condition to give you the rights, because somehow the rights to this story
We
are
are
ours.
we own this now.
We all have to be extras.
Ooh.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Or I could just be Nico. One
Yeah.
of the
Be
two.
Nico?
You
Okay.
Nico, you're Harrison.
Uh,
I'll be Colby.
you'll be Cole.
Yeah, the mo-
Okay.
yeah.
Cole.
Yeah.
Cole Bet.
Cobette.
Sure, I'll be Harrison. Or no, I'll be the giant squid.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
So you'll be in the green suit.
Yeah,
Like,
the
uh,
motion capture suit.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
When he's the dinosaur in The Hobbit. Have you seen that video?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it is weird. Basically, he's got sensors on his
Yeah.
whole body, and he's like on all four crawling around.
Ooh.
Like a
Oh.
did I say dinosaur earlier?
You said dragon. You said
Okay.
dragon.
I almost said dinosaur just now. But you should look it up. It's very weird. It's just Benedict Cumberbatch acting as a dragon.
Is he good at it?
Yeah, he's very good.
Okay.
I was impressed.
Yeah, not
I could
surprised.
not get that into that.
Not surprised.
Whew.
Wow.
Interesting.
We
Okay.
diverted our
I just want the
conversation.
listeners to walk away from this with 2 lessons.
Okay.
So the first lesson. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I forgot that.
With 1 to 2
With
lessons.
one or two
The
lessons.
second one's to be to be announced.
Way to build up the suspense.
Yeah. So how these like all connect. So back in the what was it, the 13th century,
Mm-hmm.
these men started to explore
In Persia.
and like invent things and scuba diving and all this like stuff way back in the day that basically ends up saving this man's life in 2013. Because if they weren't willing to go out there, explore and invent and
Wow.
take chances, that wouldn't have happened. So walk
Wow.
with that. And lesson number 2, if you wake up in the middle of the night and need to use the bathroom, you should go because it might save your life.
Wow.
That is literally the best topic we've had.
That was-
I
you
think
guys
so.
had some
It was well planned. You
Well planned.
tied it all together perfectly at the end.
Crazy facts. I learned a lot.
Yeah, it was very educational, but also there's a shocking amount of shock factor.
It was good. I really enjoyed this.
I've got the bins just from that.
I just
I need to decompress, you guys.
Wow. I honestly do too. Okay, to give you some time to Wait, that's your final thoughts? All good to go?
That's it.
Wrap it
Yep,
up?
done.
Wow.
Well
All
done.
Thank you. Paper drop.
I feel like I just got unofficially fired from Learn Me Something.
We'll take it from here.
I can't follow that.
You don't have to. I do.
Oh.
So while you're decompressing from
Yeah.
that amazing topic,
Yep.
let me tell you, the listeners, what this episode is, or who. Not who. Okay.
Goofball!
Crap. 2 and 1.
2 for 1. I did that last time. So it's
Remove all the keys from your keychain.
Oh,
Okay.
that is upsetting.
Okay, so this episode is sponsored by Patreon. We have a Patreon account. If this podcast brings you, just like one by one over here, taking them
Oh,
off.
that's kind of big.
I've got
Yeah, you've got a significant
6
amount.
keys and a carabiner. If this podcast brings you any value or joy and you want to support us, you can do that at Patreon. I think patreon.com/learnpodcast or patreon.com/learnmesomething.
It'll be linked.
You can find it. People are pretty good at Googling these days, and it will also be linked.
And if you weren't convinced to support us before, I think Abby's topic just tipped you over the edge.
Yeah.
I think so.
support them.
So, one thing that it would go to help support is us to buy a corset. Because one of the topics I think would be so, or one of the punishments I think would be so funny is you have to wear a corset for a day. I don't know how much those are, but I would like to see Caleb wear a corset for a day.
Oh my.
Also, the other thing that it would be going towards is we want a cool giant neon sign that says "Learn Me Something."
Oh.
So
Where would you hang it up at?
we've got lots of ideas.
Just back
That's
on
what
that
we're
wall.
thinking. Yeah.
We'd take down that giant clock that I haven't hung up yet.
We'd take out that breaker box. I don't think we need this. Okay, I'm almost
How's it going?
have all my keys off.
That's a pretty good goofball.
Yeah.
We came up
Yeah.
with all of these in like 5 minutes. We just rapid fire
No way.
brainstormed any random things. Some of them are pretty dumb though. Like get your sock wet from the other episode.
That was a stupid one. Anyway, yeah, well, these will get better. I think that was a good one.
Get your sock
Good.
wet. Sorry.
Whose idea was that one?
Get your sock wet?
Yeah.
If it was dumb, it's probably me.
No.
It could have been me. Okay.
Oh, do you want your seat back, Caleb?
I
mean,
You could
You know, you're the guest host. You enjoy the
Tap out
luxurious
all
seat.
episode.
wow.
Isn't it a nice seat?
Yeah, this is
It's
really
pretty
nice.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What, do you want a beverage? We asked you this
Oh
earlier.
yeah. No, it's good.
do you want an orange with a bite taken out of it?
It's just one
Maybe
bite.
next time.
I could squeeze you some orange juice
Okay.
right into your mouth.
Right to the goofball.
Yeah, so I was like,
Make it smell nice. Okay, so I think this is the first topic or episode where we have such similar
oh no.
topics.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Yes.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm also talking about scuba.
Great minds
So
think
this is
alike.
a scuba themed episode, but I'll be talking about something a little bit different. Aw,
You too.
how sweet, brother.
Right, brother.
So yeah, I want to talk a little bit just about the experience and since you're here, this is perfect actually.
Yeah.
And just what you thought about it and just your experience. So I've always heard it said that like it's an entirely different world, and that is so true. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it sounds dumb, but going down there, we were down there for like 45 minutes to an hour each time, and then when I would come up right when your like eye line crosses the water line, and
The
you're
event
like,
horizon.
yeah, basically, you're like out. It's just a switch, and you're like, okay, now I'm on the surface and I can talk again. And just socially, it's so different because you can just see people's eyes. You can't tell if they're super scared or super calm.
This makes me really excited for the next Avatar movie.
Yeah, because it's gonna be underwater.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
But like legit underwater, like they're filming the
Filmed
whole
it.
thing.
I feel like they filmed parts of it in the Marianas Trench
What?
or something.
I
know
just-
James Cameron's
Yeah.
been down there.
Yeah, I just learned about that because of this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and they said that it was terrible. So I'm surprised he's doing that again.
He didn't like it?
Yeah, and the
Oh.
crew did not like it. Like a lot of them
Oh.
were like, "We're not going to work with him again."
What?
Because it was just so
Is
like
he-
a hard thing to shoot underwater.
Really?
But wouldn't it be something to be proud of, shooting something that no one else has really shot?
That's
Maybe.
what I
I
think.
guess not.
I hope the movie's
Is James
good.
Cameron mean? Did
Well,
he
they
like
just, yeah, I guess I don't know.
high
They just said
expectations
that
or
they
something?
didn't like working with him.
I just
After
imagine
that,
all the camera guys are just waking up, and he's just like, get in the water.
We're going down. That's how he sounds. And so it's pretty amazing. And just we're certified to 60 feet now. So just going down there and just sitting, watching the bubbles rise all the way up to the surface. It's just a big ceiling, the whole surface. So it's like you're in this big 60-foot tall room that just is endless, no walls. Is kind of how it feels.
yeah.
And one of my favorite things was just floating there, because there was enough current where you could just float there and it would take us. You just like conveyor belt you over all the
Wow.
sea life. And so one of the things that you mentioned that you really liked was just sitting there and watching like a fish.
Yeah.
Or like, as silly
Yeah.
as it sounds, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You
And
pick one.
It was one fish, not a leaf. I know that for sure. Yeah, it's just fun. And you just see them kind of interact with other fishes and just their personalities. And it's just fun and how they live and they go eat. It's
Yeah.
just fun. I don't know.
And yeah,
Time to go eat.
I was so fascinated by that, and just you'd see schools swimming by, and
Do you think you get the same sensation when you're watching on TV?
like back in the 50s when it first came on.
the
Maybe.
sea hunt.
Right now.
Oh, right now? No. I also did feel like it was.
You got to scuba.
Did you feel like it was just not real? Like you were just wearing VR goggles? That's how I got.
I've
I
never
felt.
wore a VR goggles, so.
Do you want to do
yes.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
Maybe.
Do I want to?
Maybe you'll put them on and be like, "This is just like scuba
I
diving."
don't need to scuba dive anymore.
So yeah, it's very different. And one of the big things, which I'll be talking about, is I felt like there's this whole different like economy, and you go down there, you're just observing. The fish are just swimming around. They're doing their own thing. It is really like a little city.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
fun. And I remembered this thing I learned a while ago about the fish called the cleaner wrasse. Have you ever heard of this? I'd be highly surprised if you did.
Is that from Stargate?
Could be.
Huh?
SG-1 or Atlantis.
I'm going really heavy into sci-fi.
Stargate Atlantis.
Wait, what was it called
Excellent
again?
show. Stargate
Oh,
Atlantis.
sorry, no, the fish.
Like, I'll tell you all about the show. I loved it growing up.
So it starts.
Okay,
they
so
get,
here's the backstory.
they get the code.
I think I watched one episode and I was like,
Did you
"Oh."
actually?
Yeah, like with that little portal and they
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
in and out.
It's actually applicable because the first. This is gonna make me sound so much nerdier than I need to. But the first episode, they get the Stargate code and are able to go to Atlantis, and they find out that Atlantis is underwater. Atlantis is like a future city on a different planet,
Oh, yes.
but it's underwater, and that's the end of how it's applicable to this episode.
Okay, yeah. Great show. Anyway, it's called The Cleaner Wrasse. WRASSE.
Cleaner wrasse.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's this little fish, 10 centimeters long. I don't know what that is in inches. A couple inches long, I think. And so, okay, let me tell you about the cleaner wrasse. Once I
do.
pull up my notes. Okay, so this fish has been observed to run a business. So there's trade in the animal kingdom, I have discovered. And yeah, and it just makes me appreciate that whole economy that you can kind of see under the water. We didn't see any there. I mean, maybe you did. I don't even know if they're
Maybe
there.
I did.
But I didn't see any.
Yeah. What do they look like?
It looks, those little torpedo. It just looks like a torpedo. You know those torpedoes?
Yeah, I have
It's
a lot
just-
of encounters with torpedoes.
Yeah, so picture that. But it's a little whitish, yellowish, and it's got a black stripe along the side.
Okay.
And what it does is it provides the service of cleaning the dead scales and parasites off other fish.
Wow.
And
Does it have like a little garage that they swim into?
kind of. I'll get into that a little bit, but
Oh
it
boy,
was
I'm
studied by this professor. He's a professor of behavioral ecology, which is like the study of animal behavior. This guy who deserves a shout out, Ridwan
Redonkatum.
Bashari.
Bashari,
I don't know
okay.
where he's from, and
Oh,
definitely name
Redonka
butchering.
Bashari. Okay.
We'll call him Bashari.
Shout out to you, man.
So he studied these fish for a long time. You can read his like scientific papers. It's very
Really?
I have a hard time with scientific papers because I'm too dumb for them.
Right?
But it
I've
makes
never even
it
tried, so you're doing better. I don't think I've ever been like, man, I should probably check out a scientific paper about this.
my heart is there, but my brain is not quite. So what they do is they clean the dead scales and parasites from other fish, and they do this basically for 11 hours a day, sunrise to sunset.
Oh.
And so it's kind of a symbiotic relationship where they get food in exchange for kind of protection. They get food, and then the fish get cleaned and stay healthy and whatnot.
Interesting.
Nice. Yeah,
And they have
Good for them.
it's been observed they have 2,000 interactions per day each fish, and so there's
Wow.
yeah
2,000
pretty,
fish?
they
efficient.
busy.
That's 11. Yeah, 11 hours. I bet. Yeah,
Long.
they're busy.
You're like, yeah, based on what I've seen, that seems about right.
Kind of makes sense.
And apparently they also do some kind of massage therapy with their fins.
No way.
And I didn't look super into that, but is that not crazy
Open.
sounding? It sounds crazy to me. I mean, this whole thing sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. No way.
But yeah, some kind of, I don't know. I
That's
didn't even
neat.
look into it. You can look into it if you want.
If you're into that
but-
kind of thing.
A single fish will go back and get cleaned multiple times a day.
Oh.
So like they'll have a routine, and they'll clean all types of fish,
Dave
even
Ramsey would not approve.
That's too expensive.
save people. Cut your credit cards and save your money.
There's gotta be a Dave Ramsey fish party. I'm digging for it, but
Think.
come on. Ram.
Fish Rams fin. Anyway,
Ram spin.
so they even clean barracudas, which is like a
Oh.
predator. We saw one of those. Did you see the
Yeah,
barracuda?
yeah.
I
Pretty scary.
love those. They're so cool
Do
looking.
they attack human beings?
I don't
If you
know.
like poke at them, they'll kind of bite your back.
If you go smack it, if you go spank it, it might if you spank it.
I don't like that.
I just like those types of fish because
Yeah.
it's like they open their eye real wide and it's like they're looking at you from the side
Yeah.
and they're just like super surprised or
A
like
little on edge.
yeah. I love those types of fish that look just freaked out all the time. And so they'll clean all types of fish, get in their mouths and clean in their mouths and their scales and everything. And apparently there's two types of clients, what we'll call them. The fish that get cleaned, you've got the visitors and the residents.
Oh.
So the residents are the fish that don't have a large area that they'll stay in kind of one spot, and they'll usually only go back to one fish.
So
That's-
they're kind
that's
of,
like it's like the rural fish.
they've got them on retainer.
Kind of. So there's not a lot of variety, so there's not a lot of
Yeah.
different cleaners that they can go to.
Yeah.
There's the one. And then the visitors will have a larger area that they swim around in.
Tourists.
They can go to different cleaners based on how good the service is.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
And it's been observed that
Holy cow.
they'll go to a different fish if another one had bad service.
Yeah.
Are you highly skeptical? Because
Yeah,
I
I
am.
really want to look at you and say, you've just told the first Learn Me Something lie.
Because how did this guy research this? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He got scuba certified.
Oh, okay. Step one.
I picture he's got a little underwater notebook and he's like laying on his stomach. And he's just like, did that fish just reject this service?
No. So okay, I'll say all this. That's why I said there's scientific papers out there.
Yeah.
Like it's legit. He's not just some rando.
I'll believe it.
But I mean, not all scientific papers are true. So maybe there needs to be more research. But this is what these guys'
This
findings
sounds
are.
about right. Yeah.
With the topic,
Maybe I'll say that.
with the type of topic, I'm happily willing to blindly believe it
Yeah.
for the sake of wanting it
Wanting it to
so
be true.
badly to be true.
Also, it gets better.
Oh.
So if one fish, typically a visitor, gets a bad service, they'll go somewhere else. There's also something that's kind of interesting about the cleaner wrasse is that they like. It said that it tastes better when they eat healthy scales. I don't know how you figure that out.
Surveys.
We
a
surveyed
survey.
100 cleaner wrasses, and they like the taste of healthy scales better.
Maybe the way they act, like the behavior, maybe how like they swim.
Maybe they like flip
do
their
the
tail a little bit more.
Happy jig.
Because have you seen the documentary, My Octopus, My Teacher?
My octopus teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could like kind of tell her personality based on the way or how she like walked or
I did
moved,
love
whatever.
that. Have you seen that? It's on Netflix.
No.
It's really good.
My knowledge of anything under the water is shockingly limited.
How shocking for a Montanan.
I should know more.
For a Montanan, you should.
I did spearfish,
Oh.
Yeah.
so
So there's
that's
that.
about it. I'm just about an expert.
So the cleaner wrasse enjoys the healthier scale and mucus, as one would. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
And they want to keep their clients happy, but they're more likely to kind of take chunks of the healthy stuff.
Oh.
And the fish don't like that.
Oh.
So sometimes if the cleaner takes a little bit more than they should, the fish is like, hey! And they'll like chase them off. And they're like, I'm going somewhere else.
Give him a bad Yelp review.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's gotta be a Yelp fish pun. Kelp.
Yep, review.
Oh, yeah.
That was quick.
We got there.
Okay, so they give him a bad review on kelp. And they'll come back. Like I said, they do multiple cleanings per day. So they'll come back. If they come back to the same fish, the cleaner's like, okay, we had a bad experience. I know that. I remember you from before. I'm going to try and make up for it. So they'll apparently
Give him the turn down
give them a
service.
better service if they've had a bad experience with that other client before.
Wow.
Wow. That's pretty
Apparently. I wrote that in my notes a lot. Apparently.
cool. As you're typing it. Apparently.
So basically, yeah, it's it's crazy. They also did an experiment where they took out half of the cleaner fish from a certain area, and those fish could kind of choose their customers better. Basically, they would be more willing to take out the healthier stuff that the clients didn't necessarily want to be taken off. Because there's less choice. So it's basic supply and demand.
Yeah, you're doing major small town psychology. Guess we'll go to Taco Bell again.
I guess. I
This
hate
is
Taco
what's
Bell,
here.
but I
You
guess
want
we'll go
Mexican
back
food
there.
tonight? Taco Bell it is. That's all we got.
So yeah, essentially they charge a higher price for those that don't have as much choice.
Well,
And they'll even prioritize the visitor fish because they know they have more of a choice. So the fish that don't move a lot, they're gonna stay here. So it's been observed that visitor fish cut the line basically, and they got them first and made the residents wait.
tourists drive me crazy.
Interesting.
Let's prioritize the tourists.
Well, you said something about like they got a price.
Just
Or-
basically, they get more of the healthy scales. They can kind of cheat
okay,
more, if that
okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
And it's less. They can kind of get more of the stuff they like.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's so
Is this
interesting.
not crazy?
That's
It's-
very
It's crazy. I
interesting.
feel like a crazy person.
I believe you though wholeheartedly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So they've been studying this for
Wow.
2 decades apparently.
Wow.
Oh.
And this guy's like, I was studying monkeys, like behavior of monkeys around. He would like dress up as a leopard in the jungle and study monkeys. But he's like, that's not as fun. So he's like, diving is funner, and you can just sit there and watch the fish.
So
all
did
day.
you dress up as something else?
Just
not
a
a
human,
leopard?
just a
Oh.
scuba diver.
Not
Yeah,
a piece
because
of.
they just don't care. They don't care about you.
That's true.
they're doing
That's
their own
true.
thing.
They were kind of rude.
You're like, hey,
Hey, I'm swimming here.
Hey.
what if I want to get clean?
Cut in line.
You're like waiting in
Hey.
line. Excuse me. You gotta open your mouth. So that's the cleaner wrasse. There's And apparently it's been observed in other animal species that there's some kind of trade that happens.
Wow.
And I guess it's basically like a symbiotic relationship. Like we saw stingrays, or just some kind of rays, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some kind of rays on the bottom, and each one had one fish right above it, directly above it. It's like a food for protection type of trade.
Yeah.
So I guess you could call that economics as well.
Wow.
But that's the story of the little cleaner wrasse
Cleaner wrasse.
Who could?
who could charge more for less choice. And so that's our scuba themed episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think that's really cool.
It's
Like how that
Oh, I do
works.
too.
This is going to be a tough one to vote for.
No, it's
Cleaner
not.
wrasse.
No!
Yeah. I didn't know anything
Yes,
about
let's
that.
go.
You're not allowed to be impartial. I hired
Did
you
you
to
have
be
to
on
be
my team.
You have to be partial.
Did you know anything about the cleaner wrasse? before
No,
this
but I
started?
didn't know anything about Harrison and Nico either. Or scuba diving in general.
You've heard survival stories before.
Like that has just blah.
The economics of fish. Never heard that one before.
Very
That's just a
interesting.
good point. But we do need to acknowledge that Josiah said that your topic was the best we've ever had on an episode. So
I didn't hear
that's
that.
something to vote for. I'll be
That's,
voting
He's
for
just
you.
being nice. You guys can't
Do you
vote.
do you vote?
Every once in a while.
I have before, but I usually don't. I just
Oh.
forget. I probably should.
I'll be voting
Yeah.
this time.
Because you can vote for yourself if you're running for president.
It seems like a...
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems a little suspicious to me.
You wouldn't you wouldn't vote for somebody else.
We get similar voters turnout too for our episodes, so it really doesn't matter if we vote as the presidency election.
Oh. Oh yeah, ours we get the same amount of votes as the presidential election.
yeah,
Is that what you're
that
saying?
millions.
Our votes have very little weight.
Yeah. So okay, here. If the other stories scared you to get scuba certified, our experience was that you just get to go down there and sit and watch the fish.
Yeah.
Just do their own thing. They're just doing their day to day. They're in their
Yeah.
routines. They might be going to get cleaned. They might be looking for some food. They might be going to school.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I don't mean to like scare people away from
Yeah.
scuba diving. It is phenomenal experience.
It is highly. There's some work involved.
Yeah,
but
like Josiah said,
it's worth it.
out of this world. Like,
Yeah.
or opens a whole new world
Yeah.
down there. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I didn't know this was down here, and phenomenal.
Yeah, very cool.
So just
Highly
cool,
recommend.
Yeah, it's just
How
cool to breathe
much-
underwater.
How much would it cost for one of those little propellers that you just hang on to?
I don't know how much those are. I feel like they're not too much.
I feel like
like-
I saw an Airbnb experience, and it was like $150 maybe.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Huh. Wait, to rent or to buy?
I think for everything, I didn't look or like to rent it, not buy it. You gonna buy
Sounds
one?
like I would buy one just for up here.
Really?
Lake day. Bye guys. See you in 20 minutes. I'm taking a lap.
Yeah.
Have you been practicing your breathing?
Yes.
Get your
I am-
length you can hold your breath longer.
I'm significantly more conscious about it now.
Yeah.
After last episode. And I've heard from quite a few people that they too are self-conscious about it.
Good. That's my
Yeah.
goal, is to make people self-conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the that's why we started this podcast.
Shame. That's how we do it around here. If you're not scuba diving, you're a loser.
Yeah. Don't want to mention any names, but
Anyway. Yeah. Okay.
You guys, this was a great episode.
This is the best hour I've had in a while since scuba diving.
oh yeah, that was a good hour.
Do you feel surprised? Was
I'm
a
so
fun-
surprised.
Really?
I had literally no idea. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So originally, Abby had plans, so that's why I was texting you, trying to start as fast.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, can you come at this time, and can we start as fast as possible?
Yeah,
Because usually
yeah.
we like chat for an hour,
Yeah.
and then you were like, do you have somewhere to be? And I was like, well,
like,
no, not me.
He's like, you'll see. But
Yeah, that's what I texted back. I was
I
like,
forgot about that.
you'll see why. You'll know why soon. Why we were.
I think
why
maybe I
rushing.
thought about it. I was like, maybe he has somebody. But then I totally forgot.
Yeah.
So, Well done as a first guest.
Oh, thank
Killed it.
you.
Well, Chaz was a guest, I guess.
Chaz was a
Oh,
guest.
yeah.
You were
But
the
he was
first guest.
tap out.
I kind of actually listened to that episode before coming because I was
Did
like,
you?
what am I supposed to do?
That episode is hilarious.
Yeah, I laughed so hard on that one. So
You did a good
that
job.
was a good one.
First tap out though.
Yeah.
Yeah, first tap out and the first guest host to prepare their own topic.
Yeah, poor Chaz.
I handed Chaz's topic. And
This
said,
is what
"Good
you
luck."
will present about.
Which I was like, that's
He killed
honestly,
it.
yeah, he
killed
did
it.
a great
He
job.
killed it.
That was a good topic.
Yeah.
If you have not listened to that episode, his topic was about flamingos, right?
Yeah,
And the
flamingos.
Greenland shark.
Yeah, I talked about
Oh,
Oh.
yeah,
Greenland
yeah,
shark.
the ugly shark.
Yeah.
And you should go listen because it's very funny.
Okay.
Chaz subbed in because I was driving to Texas. No, I was moving from Texas to Montana. And so I
Very good.
listened to, I for the first time got to just listen to the episode
Yeah.
while I was driving like a normal person.
You were just doing some research. What's it like to be a listener?
Exactly. Uh-huh.
It
I was
was all
doing
well
some
thought out.
undercover boss
Yeah.
stuff.
You go up and talk to listeners. So, you a first time listener? Or? I am.
I've got a fake mustache too. Don't ask though.
Don't ask, it's real.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me. It was good.
Thank
Yeah.
you for saying yes. I really was like, man, I'm in Texas and won't get back until Saturday, and it would just be fun for someone else to do it.
So you were lazy.
Yeah, that's what I would have turned
Pretty much. But then I was like, who could do it? And I was thinking of people, and I was like, and then I literally told Mal, I was like, it would be really funny if Abby did it, but I don't think she'd say yes.
Oh.
And she was like, you should just
yes, another.
Be surprised.
I was very pleasantly surprised that you said yes.
Oh, good.
You jumped up 3 pages on my favorite people
Really?
list.
Oh,
Wow.
How long is
He
this
keeps
page?
he keeps close notes.
Yeah,
Those are big
3
pages.
people.
Yeah.
I wonder who those other 3 people were.
No, so,
Pages.
pages.
Oh, pages.
Hundreds of people.
Oh,
Times New Roman 12-point font.
double space.
Single
no,
space.
Oh, I feel really
MLA.
bad
Half
right now.
spaced. Anyway. Okay, so we talked about the punishment a little before. Do you want to do the one that's
Well, let's
the
let Abby
week-long
decide.
one or the
Okay.
day-long one? Between those two?
Yeah. Yes, between those two.
Okay, so
Okay.
you get to choose.
Okay.
Oh, this is not fair because... Okay, no, it's fine.
I don't have to choose.
You can be unbiased.
Okay.
Either...
I'm still the one doing it anyway.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's fine.
Yeah, you have to
Unless you
either
wanna do it, too.
either plug your nose for a day, have your nose plugged
Oh.
for 24 hours, or have a mustache and only a mustache for a week. Some people are gonna be like, "That's not a punishment," but some people are gonna be
That
like,
sounds
"That is
amazing."
horrible." It's a
Do we need to
polarizing
like up the ante?
one. No, I think it's good.
Okay.
I literally have not been clean shaven in a couple years.
Well,
Not that I'm gonna lose. So, okay, what do you think?
I go clean shaven probably twice a year because I always forget to put the little guard on the beard trimmer, and I do one quick swoop and it's all gone.